I call the Honourable Member Alfred Naro.
Mr. Speaker,
Kia ora.
I stand in support of the Social Security, Youth Support and Work Focus Amendment Bill. I hear many of the talks from my colleagues over next door who talk about the fact that we should be blamed and we should be shamed for the things that we are doing. And yet what it means to me, what I find it ironic, Mr. Speaker, is that this very party that talks about a plan is in review at the moment. In fact, if you look onto their website, they're asking questions. They don't have a plan. They're not sure. Why? Because the things that they said before haven't worked. So they've become a one-trick pony. A one-trick pony, Mr. Speaker, where they keep saying the same things over and over and over again. If anyone should be blamed, if anyone should be shamed, Mr. Speaker, it should be that party. And I stand here today as this. My colleague talked about Mr. Savage and what he talked about. When he set up the welfare reforms that were renowned, it was set up to be a safety net. Mr. Speaker, over generations, with that government and with that party, it became a mattress for people to lie on, rather than a safety net in what it should be. Mr. Speaker, that's what this policy is doing. It's very clear. It's talking about youth support and work focus. It has a vision. It has an ability to take our people forward. Mr. Speaker, I hear all this rhetoric. I hear young people talking about what this ideology should look like. Mr. Speaker, as someone who's just recently worked with the very young people that we're talking about, these young people who are looking for opportunities. Mr. Speaker, I remember just recently taking a number of young people, 20 of them. And what happened, Mr. Speaker, I asked them this one question: what is your dream? Mr. Speaker, they could not come out with a dream. They weren't sure. Why? Because the fact is, for many of them, they just saw a life of dependency of where they were heading into. So over a period of time, that's right, it is rubbish. Because the fact is, the rubbish was they lost their sight to dream. And that's what this is doing. We are giving them a sense of dream. We're giving them a sense of optimism and hope to believe that they can become something rather than stuck time and time again in a form of dependency. That's what we're doing here, Mr. Speaker. And many of them said to us, they said, Mr. Ngaro, nobody wins at wins. And I said, why do you say that? Why? Because all it does is provide us with the things that we need. It doesn't provide us with the opportunities that we are looking for. Mr. Speaker, these young people have been saying to me, Mr. Ngaro, give us opportunities. I want to applaud the Minister because this is what it's doing. A number of our people, and we talk about being trapped into a cycle, we want our people to be having an opportunity to be able to be successful in the dreams that they have to be successful in their lives. Mr. Speaker, this system has been letting our people down for years, allowing too many to become trapped in the cycle of dependency. And with this bill, that has to change. We want people to participate in the workforce. Mr. Speaker, the word was talked about, it's about jobs. Mr. Speaker, it's more than just about jobs. What the Minister is saying to us here today, and through this bill, it's about an attitude for change. That's what she's telling us. That's the vision that she's giving to us. It's not just about the jobs and the counting of jobs and how many are out there. It's about the fact is that let's have an attitude to be work ready, to train, and to seek out the best opportunities. A job is just a means to an end. A job is a means to an end, Mr. Prasad. That's what it is. And that's what we're talking about here. It's using the words future focus. We talk about hope. It has future focus. It's encouraging our families. It's encouraging our young mothers to be future focused, Mr. Speaker. That's what we're asking them to do. So here are some of the changes we're talking about. We're introducing financial support in the form of a new youth payment and young parent payment. We're introducing greater flexibility in the hours of work for part-time and full-time work tests for beneficiaries subject to work test obligation. We're introducing work obligations in preparation for sole parents, widows, women alone partners, and for parents on benefit who have additional children. Mr. Speaker, we're also authorising information sharing so that we can improve the process as well. Mr. Speaker, there were a lot of talk about jobs. It amazes me that somehow the opposition don't take time to read some of those statistics. So let me just sort of remind them. The Household Labour Force Survey produced by Statistics New Zealand found 62,000 jobs were created over the past 2 years. And the ANZ Bank job report for January showed jobs were on offer in every region in the country with 30,000 positions available. If you look at work and income, they receive 1,300 to 1,500 vacancies a week. Department of Labour Job Index indicates that all job vacancies will increase by 0.8% in January alone. And I go on and on. Mr. Speaker, I'm a strong supporter for this bill. I'm a strong supporter for this bill because our minister and this government has taken the courage to make a stand. No longer are we one-trick ponies. No longer are we going to say same old, same old. Instead, we're prepared to take courage and say, this is the day that we will make sure that the opportunities for our young people and our young parents are there for them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Megan Woods.
Mr. Speaker,